Alright, Battlegrounds is back, and the note for this victory track is honestly pretty interesting because it seems easy at base, but there are some things that make it kind of challenging for some characters. So the node is defensive transference, and what this does is whenever you block a hit, the opponent gains an armor up buff, and it stacks up to 10, and with enhanced armor up, it is honestly pretty dang potent. Now there's also an attacker tactic, or like node, where whenever a cosmic champion does a light attack, they have a chance to inflict an armor break debuff, but it's 100% chance if it is a crit. So yeah, cosmic characters will go crazy this meta because they get more damage, and they also shut down the node completely essentially. So yeah, cosmic characters are gonna go crazy, and you can probably guess then who the best defenders are for this meta, and you know what characters get slowed down a bit in this meta. So yeah, the nodes at base, nothing too crazy, honestly pretty straightforward. But now let's talk about the defenders, and for the defenders, any armor break immune character obviously is going to go crazy, like Destroyer, Mcoc, Thing especially, since Thing is also Nullify immune, and champions that have multi-hit special attacks as well, like Bullseye and Nick Fury, they will get armor ups faster. And additionally, most meta defenders are going to do just fine, like the Serpent, Onslaught, champions like that, since they're just always annoying, and while the, node doesn't do too much for their kit, it still is a Serpent to fight against, right? So yeah, Serpent's still gonna do just fine, and also like any Nullify immune character could do pretty well too, because Mystic characters can't stop them. And for the best attackers, I have cosmic characters obviously. The node was bugged for a bit, but it is now working, so yeah, it's a fine option. Any armor break champion, like for example Cosmic Ghost Rider, Gallon with this armor cheese, since he gains planetary mass whenever the opponent gains an armor up buff. Gladiator, who shuts down armor ups with his vigilance. You also have true strike characters like Corvus Glaive, or true damage champion, like Adam Warlock too. You have DOT characters that just bypass the armor up, like Kate Bishop. You have nullified champions like Juggernaut, and you also have science champions that can just stop the mystic defenders that are pretty much inevitable, like Titania for example. But now let's show some gameplay of these attackers and showcase some defenders that might be really prominent in this meta. So here's an example of the attack tactic, and yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider is gonna do CGR things. It's just this is a rank 5 unascended, just a quick note, and look how fast this fight is. So as you can see, there is a chance to proc an armor break debuff on Iron Man here, and then we drop the SP2, and once the precision is up, we get an armor break on pretty much every single light attack, and this is just silly at this point. Like, the damage output's insane. We drop the relic into the heavy attack, and yeah, like a sub 30-second fight for a rank 5 unascended champion. And now we have, let's see what we have here. We have this Gallon fight. This is a rank 3 Mcoc, so I am punching up to the maximum essentially. This is a very unideal matchup, and usually Gallon just cannot take this fight. However, with this meta, he does take this fight, and he does it pretty well. Like, Mcoc is one of the best defenders in this meta because of his armor break immunity and the fact that he is still very annoying overall. So yeah, Mcoc is gonna be an absolute pain for most players, right? But Gallon here actually does take him pretty well, and here he drops the SP1, and yeah, it's almost time to drop the SP2, which we do right here, I believe, or we should have, but I didn't. But now we drop it, and yeah, this damage output, it's gonna almost one-shot him, which is crazy stuff. So yeah, we go back in after this, go for another parry, into another combo, into the relic, into the harvest, and yeah, the fight is now over. So it was like under a minute, which is pretty good stuff for a Gallon versus Mcoc, and I'm like punching up as well. But now we have some other fights here. We have Titania, and Titania is pretty good for this meta because she has access to stagger, so she can just neutralize, or not neutralize, but like stagger away all the armor up buffs. So yeah, she's gonna be good for this for sure. And it's Titania, right? So she is one of the best Mystic counters in the game, and given that Mystic champions are going to be pretty common in this meta, you pretty much have to have her in the deck. And yeah, this is a rank 2 Unduped Serpent, still pretty annoying for most characters, but Titania just doesn't care. Here we go for the Relic in a second, we drop the light attack, then go back into the SP3, and this one is our wrap now, because what happens after the SP3? Well, you can guess it. She just goes crazy. And yeah, the fight's going to be over very quickly. There, drop the heavy attack, drop it again, and then do some hits into the block, and there we go. A 40-something second Serpent fight. You love to see it. Titania is just so good this meta. And now we have this Juggernaut fight. And Juggernaut is going to be one of your mainstay attackers for sure, because with Mystic characters running wild, Juggernaut is one of the few non-science characters that actually takes these Mystic powerhouses. So like Sasquatch, for example, Juggernaut is going to destroy this guy because he has access to Nullify, right? And that Nullify just feeds Juggernaut's power, and it gives him a ton of SP2s, and he just destroys anyone. So yeah, it's a very fun time with Juggernaut. He is just so insane this meta. Here, drop another SP2, no crits, doesn't matter, go back in here, get a combo going, get some crits there thankfully. And yeah, a 35-second fight for a rank 2 Sasquatch. That is just really good stuff. And let's see what we have here now. We have this Kate Bishop fight, and like I said, Kate Bishop in this meta is going to be vital, since some characters will just have so many armor ups, right? But Kate Bishop's Cold Snap just bypasses it. So yeah, it's going to be very good for Kate Bishop. Honestly, Kate Bishop is just she's always a good champion for any meta, so this isn't a surprise to anyone. It's just like, yeah, it was bound to happen, right? But here I drop the SP1, get the release going, and yeah, the Cold Snap just gonna tick away Korg, and the armor ups are just so irrelevant here because yeah, Kate Bishop just doesn't care about them. But here he drops the SP2, no big deal. And yeah, Kate Bishop, I took up like last season, and she is such a lifesaver, man. Like genuinely one of the best characters in the game, flat out. Like just way too good, to be honest. But yeah, I dropped the SP1, and there we go. Fight is now done. Pretty much anyway. Yeah, look at that. He was running Recoil Mastery, so it did like give us a slight edge, but it is what it is. Now we have a quick Gladiator fight. Funny enough, Venom does counter Gladiator somewhat, since Venom procs his buffs at the start of the fight, like before they even, start attacking each other, like it's during the run-in. But after that, like he shuts down all the armor ups as long as he has the Vigilance active. So Gladiator will do great. He's going to counter Red Skull really well, and yeah, he's just going to be a very fun champion to use too. So I cannot wait to use this guy a lot in this meta, but he's already getting banned all the time, so it's like, yeah, I shouldn't expect to use him too much, but if I do get to use him, I'll be really happy about it. But yeah, he is always my top ban for some reason. Like, I get he's a good character, but it's just a bit frustrating. But here I dropped the SP2, and yeah, this one's a wrap at this point. Yeah, like some nice crits there. Now the Incinerate is ticking, and there we go, fight is over. So Gladiator, just to no one's surprise, is good. So there we go, man. It's so nice seeing like how he went from a bad champion to a great one. But now we have more Titania here, and Sasquatch is going to be one of those defenders that you see all the time. Like 100% he'll be like picked from any draft, and he's just going to be a mainstay for any champion, or for any deck, sorry. But yeah, Titania is just the best counter, obviously, since it's Titania. Like, she is just good for any science champion. And yeah, this is just Titania doing Titania things. We go back in here, get the intercept, and we go in there, trigger Haymaker on accident, which was not what I wanted to do, but at this point, the fight's over, so I just dropped the SP3, and then it's a wrap at this point. Yeah, look at this. It's like that right there is really good damage. Go back in, drop the heavy attack, a nice 33,000 crit, and yeah, drop the relic into a combo, and that should do it. 27,000 crit there in 46 seconds. But now we have this fight that, I just want to show it. This was while the node was bugged, so keep in mind that Maestro's not going to armor break arcade here, but this is just how crazy Maestro is. I take 7 hits in this fight, okay? I take, yeah, 7 hits straight up, and I want you to see like how much health I end with. But yeah, there I mess up because he dropped the SP1. I did not want that to happen, and then I get auto blocked in just a second here. So yeah, this is already going really badly. Right there, parried, but then he like does 0 damage to me, and then I heal up from the torments as well. So it's like, okay, wait a second, this is just kind of silly at this point. And here he drops a heavy attack again. I get parried again, but it does like no damage to me yet again. So it's like, dang, man. Maestro is just like crushing this guy. So there he dropped the SP2, and now at this point it's just over because Maestro has a Furious going. He has a very strong SP1 burst damage, 11,000 per hit, not too shabby in the slightest. Get the reparry, go for a combo into the relic, and yeah, Arcade is done for. But we took 7 hits and we finished with a full yellow bar pretty much, and yeah, it was enough for the W. So very, very fun times. But yeah, this meta is honestly, it's a very interesting one. Like, some champions do get gimped, like Shocker, Sunspot for example, but other champions do get to shine a bit, like any nullified character like Juggernaut, any staggered champion like Titania, and then cosmic characters of course. So it's a interesting meta. I want to see how Gladiator Circuit is in a bit, but that's for another day. Let me know your thoughts on this Battlegrounds meta, and yeah, that's about it for me.